So if this news is true, it should be a pretty wild day tomorrow. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. And just like I've talked about the really bad days for GME when it went from $80 per share all the way down to, $18 per share. I wanted to make sure that I talk about it when some good news comes out that might actually positively influence GME. And that's based off of what I keep seeing being shared over Twitter, or previously known as Twitter, now known as X. And that's that RoaringKitty, also known as DeepFuckingValue, just disclosed that he has a GameStop position, GME, that he was tracking last week. And supposedly this is about $65 million in GME calls. First off, to my understanding, the reason this almost kind of doesn't make sense, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but to my understanding, I thought he made a little bit north of like $20 to $30 million. And that's obviously pre-tax, right? So for him to now have access to $65 million, obviously there's the idea of being able to leverage, sure. But these were purchased from May 20th all the way to May 31st. And this is supposedly what was tracked. When you dive a little bit deeper, right, a lot of people are super excited because if this is true, the overnight trading session shows that it's now trading at $27 per share when it closed at $23. And this is possibly the kind of like jump start that maybe this whole rally needed. If it is true, like this would be absolutely insane. I don't think there's no one relevant enough other than RoaringKitty that can state that, hey, I'm invested with you guys, and it could really spark a whole nother wave of just a lot of demand, because that's all it is, right? I want to remind you, just like last time, that once that demand dies, whenever that might be in a few days, it might be in a few weeks, it might just be one day, right? In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, it's still a pump and dump. It's just about once that hype becomes less relevant, we peak and then we correct ourselves, just like we did last time when it ran all the way up to what was it here? It was to $120 per share and then ran all the way back down to $10 per share. So again, you're an adult. You can do whatever it is that you want. If you want to continue to hold these, even after it spikes up and after it rallies, all power to you. If this isn't true, I still believe that because of how much hype there is, I mean, everyone is sharing this. I'm making a video about it. Everyone is talking about it, because if this is true and he didn't get hacked and he actually has that large of a position, this could absolutely be another wave of just huge hype behind GME, behind AMC, and a lot of people that are shorting those specific stocks might be in a very unfortunate position going into it, right? This is the post that continues to be shared. It shows, I think this is an E-Trade account, and it shows a total $120 million value. One of his positions was a call, which was about, what is this, 120,000, shares. And he lost about total gain. He's down 2.5 million, but then total gain on this one where he has 5 million shares, 9.3 million. So overall, up in the green, $210 million value. The part that just doesn't make sense to me is that where did he get $210 million? Again, maybe that's just me overthinking this. Feel free to share how you've heard that he could have come across $210 million, because to my understanding, before this whole GME movement, he didn't have a ton of money. Then once it all happened, he locked in profits, made 20, 30, $40 million. Great. You still have to pay capital gains tax. That sucks anywhere, right? But yet now we're talking about $210 million. There was a tweet, and I did see this, that RoaringKitty sent this in a reverse card. I do not know what that means. Maybe I'm too out of date I'm too old to understand that. This was a pretty funny one. This was a hedge fund industry. All I want to remind you is, make your money. Make your money. There's a lot of great things happening this week, especially if this news is correct and it is true. $27 per share is nothing in the grand scheme of things. This thing could really rally, and I'm super excited for you guys. I just want to remind you that, again, these rallies tend to not last. I hope that you just do your part to lock in profits whenever it makes sense to you, right? That's just what I'm here to remind you. I know that's super boring. I know a lot of Reddit traders or AMC or GME traders might get annoyed of that comment. But again, I'm here to look out for the beginner trader, and it is your job to always know when to take your profits and bounce, right? Because you can call this whatever it is that you want, but it needed a moment like this where someone that's very relevant shares something and it creates a positive catalyst that would have never happened if he didn't share that. There's no fundamental reason on why it's skyrocketing other than someone that is very trendy decided to purchase it to try to stick it to the big guy, which again, last time it didn't work. If you think that this time is different, again, I'm not here to convince you that it's not. I'm just here to remind you what has happened in the past before, and that's that it returns back to its previous value. Make your money however it is that you see that to be fit. I was going to go live and talk about some of the top stocks for this upcoming week. But once this news came out, I feel like this is something that most of you would have preferred for me to talk about, as well as, again, NASDAQ futures as of right now are up about 0.25%. And when it comes down to what's on schedule for this week, we have a series of economic reports. One of the most important ones is also the unemployment rate that's going to be released. I think that's Thursday or Friday of this week. So just make sure that you pay attention to what's going on this week. If you guys go to techbutsolutions.com. I also want to remind you that our first email for the trade tracker for politicians is going to be going out tomorrow. It is free to subscribe. It's going to be the first link in the description down below. So if you ever want to stay up to date what Nancy Pelosi is trading or investing in and all the other politicians, we're tracking their trades on a weekly basis. It's absolutely for free. And if you want to subscribe to our email list, it's going to get delivered and it's going to be sent out for you on Monday. So if you want to tune on in, again, first link in the description down below. And if you want to tune on into our live trading session, that's going to be that second link in the description down below. And yes, that means that you're going to be able to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow when the market opens. And if you have any questions before signing up, comment down below. I would love to answer any questions. I appreciate your time. I hope that earned your thumbs up. And you guys let me know down in the comment section what you think about the Roaring Kitty news, if you think it's true, and what your plan is. Do you plan to lock in profits? Do you plan to, what do they call it? Hodl and stick it to the big guy. Wish you guys nothing but the best and excited to follow up tomorrow. Take care, team.